Completely impartial, completely unbiased coverage of the 2017 Confederations Cup final. It's Germany against Chile. We've managed to hijack a few of the Chile fans, as you can see, just as on their way to the match. We have got George Senior.
George's dad, yeah.
George Junior.
Yeah.
Mauricio. We've got Matthew. We've got Philippe. We've got a guest, Victoria Lopriova. We'll speak to her in a minute. They haven't got mics, so just to get some flavour, we'll ask them to sing for us, guys. A few Chile fans. Start us off.
Give us a song. Ready, go.
Con la nación.
Ole, ole, ole. Chile, Chile.
Next one. Proxima.
Chileno. Chile. Chile. Le. Chile. Le. Viva Chile.
One more for the road.
Vamos, vamos a ganar. Que tenemos que ganar. Vamos, vamos, chilenos. Vamos, vamos a ganar.
Very briefly, thank you, George. Let me bring you in because this is Australian. George is your dad. He's Chilean. You were born in Chile, but you're Australian.
Yeah.
So you had two choices.
Yeah, so I had hedged my bets, but I won with Chile.
What's the score going to be tonight?
2-1 for Chile.
Excellent stuff. We'll be rooting for Chile, won't we, Neil?
Absolutely. George, one last quick question. How are you enjoying your time in Russia?
Oh, it's amazing. Russia's been far exceeded my expectations. It's been amazing.
Great. Good luck for the final, guys. We'll let you head off. As we talk now, more predictions, because Nika, the bear, and Achilles, the cat from the Hermitage, the top pundits of this competition, have been making their predictions. So let's take a look now. We've got exclusive footage for you, if we can bring it in. Now, who's this? This has got to be the cat. That's a small table. There is Achilles, who was a little bit reticent the first time they predicted.
We started with Mika, and then we went back to Achilles here in St. Petersburg. And for me, neither are as good as me, but just have a little look. He's having a little sniff around Germany. Is he going to make the step up?
A deep thinker, Achilles.
He is. He's gone for it, Germany. He's agreed with the Collymore.
Oh, just following the crowds. Just following the crowds. Have your own independent opinion, Achilles.
I could not say that Chile, with all of the guys here, who were fantastic, by the way. I just ran into the square and got them all here. And I'm going for Germany.
Oh, here's Nika the bear, who I think has also gone...
Who's he got? He's just decided to demolish the
Chile ball.
The plate.
I think it was a Germany. I'm told it was a Germany prediction. So everyone is on the bandwagon. Do you know the Germany bandwagon? It's got the cat, the bear, it's got all the pundits. Everyone's back in Germany. This bandwagon, the wheels are coming off. It's so heavy.
Don't show your spite, Mr. Harvey. Just because I told you that Germany would be winners tonight.
If you score a few goals, everybody loves you. Where's the love for the defence in the game? Let's bring in a guest now, Victoria Lopriova, who is a sports presenter in her own right.
Nice to meet you, Victoria.
Former Miss
Very happy
Russia.
to have you here in Russia, in St. Petersburg. Welcome.
Did you enjoy singing with the Chile fans?
Oh, yes, of course I did. As you, by the way, you forgot to take off the
I'm
hat.
keeping it on. Who will you be supporting tonight? Germany or Chile?
Well, as a FIFA ambassador from Russia, I have to support my national team. But so my national team is out. It means that I'm going to support the beautiful football, and I would like to wish good luck to Germany and to Chile. But I'm really impressed the way how Chileans support the national team.
3,000 Chilean fans.
Yes, it's amazing. We are so excited to have them here.
We need this energy, don't we, for the World Cup. So how will Russia get everybody engaged and make the World Cup next year exciting?
Well, as you know, this is the first time in the history of our country that we have Confederation Cup and we're going to have the World Cup. And this is fantastic. Every Russian citizen really would like to be involved. Everybody would like to be volunteer. Everybody would like to support this like a mega event. And I'm so happy that we're going to invite our foreign guests, not just in Moscow and to St. Petersburg. So this is the very good experience to explore you know, that to travel during the country, because Russia is such a beautiful and big country. And we have 11 cities for the World Cup, so guys waiting for you.
We went to the match with Mexico and Russia. We thought maybe they were like gonna be mad if we won the match.
It's completely opposite.
They were still like really friendly.
Russian people are so friendly.
Friendly, that's the word.
It has been amazing.
Beautiful place.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, definitely we will come back for the World Cup.
Guys, you should come here.
Definitely be here next year. I will invite more Mexican friends to come with me next time.
Let's bring in Kieran Pender now, who's a sports writer for The Guardian. Kieran, you've been out covering the tournament. Just first of all, what is it you're looking for on your trip here?
Sure, well, I've had a really great time. Very enjoyable tournament. You know, there was a lot of concern among foreign fans about whether Russia was ready and more generally, you know, whether Russia was a safe place to come. But from everyone I've spoken to, it's passed with flying colours.
Have you enjoyed it? Because we've been here filming, I've been here for the first time in a long time, and seen the changes in Russia, bilingual signage now, the usual suspects, coffee shops and big department stores. It's changed a hell of a lot since I first came here 15 years ago. Were you surprised with what you saw?
Yeah, I was. This is my third time in Russia, and I think the organising committee has done a great job making it more accessible for foreign fans. You know, from the airport signage, the friendly volunteers. I've been really impressed by the volunteers, actually. They've done a great job, always very accessible and willing to help out.
Okay, I don't want to overstate how great things are going. Nowhere is perfect. There must be something you feel could be improved. That you know, I mean, it is a rehearsal essentially for the World Cup. What more can be done?
Yeah, exactly. I think the crowds were a little disappointing. That's not entirely unexpected. This is not a big, you know, it's not a huge tournament where you're going to get, you know, fans coming in their millions. But the atmosphere in the group stages was disappointing, and I really hope tonight in St. Petersburg we see a packed stadium and lots of cheering fans.
Now, I want to pick up on that because you've said about this before. Confederations Cup's not always full. What's the solution?
Right. So basically, the Confederations Cup was an early '90s construct, and it's the first time Brazil have not been here. Brazil are usually a massive draw. No disrespect to Portugal as champions of Europe, but that title has been given to Spain and Italy and Germany in years gone by. Portugal are probably second ranked in terms of the biggest of big boys in Europe. Brazil or Argentina rather than Chile, a big draw. Chile, not so much a big draw. They've got 3,000 fans here. So I think all things considered, after a lot of football played in a domestic season in and around Europe, it is a slight anomaly, but it's a very useful exercise to have a look at transport, to have a look at the fan ID process, and to have a look at how much Russia is on track.
Yeah. What do you think about the ticket pricing? That's something else we mentioned. Are FIFA going too high with ticket prices, or do you think they're okay?
Well, I understand that local Russians can get slightly cheaper tickets, so I think that's probably a good solution. But to continue on Stan's point, it is an open question where to from here for the Confederations Cup. It's already been announced that Qatar, being the 2022 World Cup hosts, won't be having a Confederations Cup because the weather, it will be too hot, and so FIFA have obviously moved the actual World Cup. There's some talk that one of their neighbours might host it, but yesterday the FIFA president Infantino fronted a press conference and was asked directly, will we see a Confederations Cup in 4 years' time? And he refused to answer. He said, look, we're going to have to go away and analyse. There's been some talk maybe turning it into a club tournament rather than a national team event. Yeah, I think this tournament has showed that Russia is on the right track for the World Cup, but it's also still, there are a number of questions left unanswered. You know, the four hosts for this tournament, Sochi, Kazan, St. Petersburg and Moscow, you know, they're four of the more prepared cities anyway. They're the big cities with used to the foreign travellers coming here. The stadiums in some of those were already ready. Obviously the St. Petersburg Stadium has been under construction for a long time. I think the big question for the hosts and for the local organising committee is, are the lesser cities, lesser in terms of population and
Samara, Saransk, Ekaterinburg.
Exactly, are they ready? And I've spoken to some colleagues who've travelled out there, and there are some concerns. And so I think the Confederations Cup has been fantastic, and I've personally enjoyed it. The Australian fans I've spoken to and the other fans have had a great time. But there are still some questions. I suppose we'll have to wait and see.
And you'll be going out there, and we will hopefully as well.
Yeah,
so.
the one question I want to ask you is, would you go home, you know, you're a football fan as well as being a journalist, would you recommend fellow Australians to come out there? The ones that have come out seem to have had a really good time.
Yeah, I would. Australia hasn't yet qualified, so fingers crossed that we do. I'd be very upset if we don't come back and I don't get to make the trip again. But I'll certainly be telling all of my friends and colleagues back home that, you know, next year, 2018 World Cup is going to be a really fantastic tournament.
Now, we've been very much trying to look at the fan experience while we've been undertaking this mission here. Stan and I have visited all of the host cities, Sochi, Kazan, Moscow, and of course here, St. Petersburg.
Yeah, we've visited the stadiums, we've raced around the Formula One track, we've ate horse, freestyle football in a shopping mall, and we've even climbed a mountain. Did we enjoy it? Of course we did. 21st century technology, pitch technology.
We have got a selection of die-hard fans now. This is the Luzhniki Stadium, one of the most famous in the world. We can say that we helped rebuild it.
Formula One racetrack over to our right, the beautiful sea, the kids out playing, and of course the fish stadium in the background. Fantastic.
Sunshine. Oh, sweet Mother Mercy.
Football is a long time ago.
You really get caught up in the moment, don't you? It's been great fun, but we really have to go.
While here in beautiful St. Petersburg, we were joined by some young football fans. They were showing off their fancy footwork, and some of these kids, well, they could have a future.
Yeah, great bunch of kids as well, and let's just see them making Stan run for the ball, putting it through his faces.
There you go, look. You never lose it. You never lose what you've never had.
It's Chile, it's Chile, Germany, this youth against experience. The central square in St. Petersburg here, that's where they're playing. Not the best football playing surface, but it's certainly a very beautiful one.
Well done. Come on, I'll show you what television's like, the magic of television.
Welcome to this Team Live. I am Emily and I can't wait for tonight.
My name is Mahmoud. I am from Syria. I like Cristiano Ronaldo.
I think best player in the world is Stan Collymore.
Oh, yes! Oh, absolutely. Say cheese.
Okay, let's get an atmosphere now of what is happening close to kick-off. Our correspondents, Kate Partridge and Ewan O'Neill, are in position. Let's go first to Kate Partridge, who's at one of the fan zones here. Must be buzzing by now, Kate.
Hi Neil, hi Stan. It certainly is buzzing, and when you were talking about music, you can hear some in the background. If you can probably hear it above me, you've got some traditional Russian music. Everybody's kind of bopping away. And after we spent a day effectively with the Chilean team and the Chile fans, we thought it was high time that we found some Germany fans. And we've managed to do it as we arrived in the fan zone. So here we are. Let me just pass over to our Germany fans. Hello guys, thank you so much for joining us. Can you give me your names?
Hi, it's Michael.
Aled. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. So, what do you think of St. Petersburg so far? What do you think of the fan zone?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
What do you think of the fan zone? What do you think of St. Petersburg?
We really enjoy St. Petersburg. We are here since several months. We are in St. Petersburg, so it's a great town, one of the beautiful I've ever seen. And we really want to enjoy this atmosphere here and watch a football game.
Well, we leave you in just a couple of minutes to do exactly that. What do you think of it so far?
Oh, could you please repeat it?
What do you think of St. Petersburg so far?
Oh, it's really great. It's amazing. The city is amazing, and I don't know what to say else.
So, guys, you're Germany fans. So, what do you think the score will be and why?
2-0 for Germany, of course, because I think Germany is a better team.
And what do you think? What do you think the score will be?
The same. So it will be a clear win for the German team.
So you seem very confident so far. Who do you think will be your star players? You have a very young team, a very changed team. Who are the stars for Joachim Löw today?
The goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper, I mean?
Yes, I like the goalkeeper.
So it's one of the best, the goalkeeper, of course.
So that's Ter Stegen, yes?
From Barcelona, so great player.
Yeah, plays for Barcelona, has got to be a good player. So you're still going on 2-0, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So one last thing before I let you go, guys, you have to say, like, come on Germany. How do you say that in German? Come on Germany.
Auf geht's Deutschland.
Los Deutschland! Super, thank you very much indeed, guys. I hope, well, we're looking forward to a 2-0 then. So there we have it. We have some Germany fans, and they're going for 2-0 after the Chilean fan that said it was 7-1. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's a little bit of a closer affair than that. But we'll be seeing that in just a few minutes now as we're approaching kick-off here in St. Petersburg.
Yeah, many thanks, Kate Partridge there, with the, I think I can say, slightly more subdued German fans than the Chileans we spoke to.
They'll be in the stadium, trust me. Watch the German flags. There'll be a lot of German representation there. Talking of the stadium, let's go to the St. Petersburg Arena and Eunan O'Neill. What's the pressure cooker environment building up like there, Eunan?
Yeah, it's building up nicely, Stan. Hi, Neil. A lot of fans just drifting in now, half hour before kick-off, of course. I've been speaking to a number of fans, you know, pretty much as Kate was saying, you've got a lot of confident German fans. At the beginning of the tournament, just speaking to them, they were thinking, we've won World Cups, we've won European Championships, we don't really need the Confederations Cup. Today, that's all changed. The people I've been speaking to said, we want to tick off that box. It's a young team, but it's a good team. A lot more Chilean fans, though, I've seen. 12,000 or so, I think, have travelled from Chile. Now, that's a long way, a lot of expense. So it just goes to show they're fully behind their team. They've just won the Copa America for the second straight time. So the fans are here and they're expecting a lot from the likes of Sanchez and Vidal. So a lot is expected in half an hour's time. Now, I've just been milling around the press centre as well, and you never know who you'll bump into there. Familiar faces. One of whom was somebody I've talked about for a long time in my previous job as a sports presenter. That was Yelena Isinbayeva. She's a double gold Olympic medalist, multiple world champion in the pole vault, and I got a few minutes with Yelena. Let's take a listen to what she told me. First of all, your thoughts on how Russia has welcomed the world for the 2017 Confederations Cup?
Well, I think we host everyone on a very high level, and I really hope that all fans, when we leave our country, will keep those thoughts till the next year, and we will surprise them more for the World Championships. One
of the things going into the tournament, there were a lot of scare stories. Would Russia be able to host a tournament of this size? Now the press, a lot in the Western press, are saying Russia has welcomed the world, they've done well, people are writing great stories about it. How happy, how satisfied are you with that reaction from the press, not just the fans here?
Well, of course, we like good reaction from the press because it's important. They show to the world who we are and what we are doing here. And when they speak in a good way about us, for us it's a big achievement. And of course, I would like to confirm that we will manage to do everything, and we welcome everyone in our country, and really look forward to provide the best World Championships 2018.
And just a word about the legacy, what Russia leaves behind here when it has the Confederations and the World Cup. How important, we're looking at a beautiful stadium here, lots of new buildings, infrastructure.
Yes.
The importance of the legacy, the importance of what Russia leaves behind after these events.
Well, of course, the World Championships gives us the huge push for development, and we will develop football in our country more than it was before, because now we have opportunity, we have such a beautiful stadium, as you mentioned before. Of course, we will grow up our football players from young. So we create new football schools that didn't have that we didn't have before because we never had the World Championships. Of course, for development of football, it's a huge task, if I would say, and all the infrastructure will help us on that.
Yeah, that was pole vault sensation. Isinbayeva speaking to me earlier. Just a lovely breeze actually coming in now from that grand, majestic Neva River. It's a lovely temperature for playing football. The game, as we were saying, going to start in about half an hour's time. So a lot of build up here, a lot of people playing keepy-opsies, giants on stilts, a very party atmosphere. But I will just leave you with a thought that Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, said, speaking about Russia hosting the games, in response to how well Russia has done it. He said, well,
Russia were supposed to be bad hosts, so if every tournament is like this, I don't care how bad it is if it continues to be hosted like this. So that is words of praise from the FIFA president himself, and we just hope for a game to top it all off here in St. Petersburg. The champions of the Confederations Cup, we will know in a couple of hours from now.
Beautiful white nights of St. Petersburg, and a particularly fantastic evening for Germany. The world champions have now been crowned the 2017 Confederations Cup winners with a 1-0 victory over Chile. Alongside me, Stan Collymore. You called this, you said Germany were going to win it, maybe not in the fashion you predicted though.
No, I think that huge congratulations has to go to the Chile national team as well. Double South American champions, of course. You could tell they really wanted this one bad. And the reason why that is that when we reconvene here next year in Moscow and the other 10 cities, the other 11 cities for the World Cup, is that with Brazil, Argentina, Italy, Spain, France, I do not think in that kind of company that this golden generation of Chile players, that's what they're called in Chile, the golden generation, led by Alexis Sanchez, will come back here and have a realistic chance of getting in a final again. So it was all or nothing tonight. They put all of their effort, their bodies on the line. They started extremely well. Huge congratulations to them. And I'm sure that they wouldn't have wanted to lose the game in the manner that they did. But when you send so many players forward so often, there's always the possibility at the other end you can get hurt, and that's exactly how it happened.
Well, I said it wasn't the manner that we expected Germany to win in, and that they were expected to boss the game, that Chile would defend. It was the other way around. Chile dominated possession throughout. Germany snatched their chance. Talk us through this. A shocking moment for the defender, the central defender for Chile, Diaz.
It was. I mean, you just see there, Diaz on the edge of his own box, and he's just dawdling in possession of the ball. You have to keep the ball moving, particularly when you've got young, lively, hungry players chasing around you to look to win the ball. That's exactly what Germany did. You see there a steal, and it's Lars Stindl that just has the easiest of task on the edge of the 6-yard box to put the ball in the back of the net. And I have to say there were probably 20, 21 really good chances through the game that Chile had to Germany's 6 or 7. It was a very un-German-like performance. You said a little bit earlier, and I completely agree, is that Germany are usually the team that take the game to other teams. That's why they've been so successful in international football over 40 or 50 years. But they were strangely defensive, they were reactive rather than proactive, and certainly in the first half of play, Chile, I felt, if they'd have got that first goal, they may well have gone on to win the trophy.
Well, I could feel the pain of those magnificent Chile fans, some of whom we've met, and I know some of them were in the fan zone here in St. Petersburg, where our very own Kate Partridge was. There must have been some awful disappointment there, Kate.
Hi there, Neil and Stan. Yes, as you can probably see behind me, the fan zone itself is clear because most of the fans there were Russian and they were cheering on for Chile. But I do have the very enthusiastic volunteers behind me. What do you say, guys? For these guys and for the Russians, the Confederations Cup has been a raging success. As we know, there haven't been any reports of any racism or hooliganism or homophobia or all the other things people were talking about with the tournament. But it's all been pretty jolly here and it's all gone off pretty well. And these guys are not only looking forward to the next Confederations Cup, whenever the next one comes in Russia, but what they are looking forward to is the World Cup. As you can hear, take it away, guys. What is for Chile and Germany have won it. They've become the Confederations Cup champions for the first time. They don't mind here in St. Petersburg. They don't mind here in Russia. They've just had a fantastic party, as you can hear.